Hello, hello, everyone. We are back. It's Mehreen and Alexis today, finally.
Reunited, and it feels so good.
Yes. We can start singing for everyone, right? Yeah, so we're back in Corner Office Chats today, right with you in Women Who Lead. And today's topic is, tell me, Alexis, what is today's topic?
It's the three things you must plan into your week every week to achieve success.
Yes. Thank you. Slipped my mind, like right when I had to say it. I'm like, I don't remember. So yeah, this is why it's important for us to be doing the three things that we need to be doing and incorporating it into our calendar for sure. Mm-hmm. So why is this important, Alexis? As leaders, and those of you who are leaders, you're leading your business, your family, you're doing all the things, you're serving people, your team, your family, your community, your friends, whoever it is. As you are serving everyone, what we tend to do as servant leaders is forget to take care of ourselves and make sure that we're incorporating that into our calendar or whatever it is for a plan for the week or plan for the day even. So that's what we're talking about and why it's so important, because what starts to happen over time, and studies have shown this, what starts to happen is that when you get depleted, all of a sudden you'll go down, down this wormhole of, I can't do this anymore. I'm overwhelmed. I'm frustrated. I'm burnt out. I start to have anxiety. If you're having any of those thoughts or feelings, you need to listen up today.
Mm-hmm. We're all about long-term success, not just crushing it in a quarter or on a particular project. High performers we're after that long-term building success. And we can't be doing that if the other areas of our life are falling apart, whether that be our relationships, whether that be our health, whether that be just those activities that bring us just pure joy and pleasure, our hobbies or our side passions and things like that. But what happens is when you're a high achiever and you're really looking to advance your career, if you're building a business, whatever that is, that in that professional aspect, that tends to overshadow all the other things. And we tell ourselves all sorts of things to allow us to keep going down that path where we're very much kind of got our blinders on and we're like, just until this quarter is done, just until this project is done, just until this event happens, right? And we expect everyone around us, including ourselves, to just like go along for the ride. So we want to share with you 3 things that you should be scheduling into your week every week, no matter how busy things get. It should be a priority for you to make sure that you're not neglecting other important areas of your life, because before you know it, the weeks turn into months, turn into years. My 3-year-old is turning 4 in a few days, and I don't even know where I feel like I blinked and he was a baby, and now he's a little boy. He's starting kindergarten in the fall. Like it happens so quickly. So first area that you need to make sure that you are scheduling into your week is your important relationships. Okay. This may be more than one appointment in your calendar. It could be a date night with your partner. It could be a special outing with your kids or a girlfriend or a good friend or another family member. But thinking about who are those really important people in your circle? Okay. Are you touching base with them every single week intentionally?
Mm-hmm. And that could be like you said, it could be even just giving a quick text or giving a good call, whatever it is that you need to do to touch base and to feel connected. Mm-hmm. The 4 pillars that Alexis and I are always focused on is making sure that you're clear on what it is that you want for yourself, that you are confident in however you show up, that you create those connections, those lasting connections, and intentionally make sure that you pay attention to them. So, and commitment, being committed to those connections. So those are the 4 pillars that we always concentrate on. That's why this is so important, is that what are you doing with making sure that your connection is in place? Mm-hmm. With your relationships, with your friends, with your family, with your spouse, with your children. We're talking about when we are talking about, you want to make sure that all of your team is included. We're talking about your community and your family. So when you start to look at your schedule and plan for the week, if I was to look at it, if you were to show me your calendar, have you blocked out time for those connections to happen? Did you make the commitment? You know, and let's take a step further back. Maybe you're not clear who you want to be in connection with. So you can check in with yourself, you know, check in with your relationships. Have a list, maybe even list down all the people that are important to you in your lives and really look at, is there something missing there? Now, what can I do to incorporate into my week that I can touch base with them? Maybe you know somebody that's having surgery or having a graduation or whatever, and you want to make sure that you touch base with them, right? And congratulate them or wish them well or whatever, you know, hope a speedy recovery, whatever it is, put that into your calendar. We get so caught up, right, Alexis? We get so caught up in our mundane work, and there's so many things. Work is always going to be there. But if we don't have these connections and putting time in to make these connections happen and stay, what do you want to call them? Stay powerful, you know, then what will be work? One day work will stop. One day you will retire and you'll turn around and look, you're like, where is everyone? Like, where is everyone?
And especially in this past year, I hate to, you know, always kind of bring this up, but it is so important. I've lost important people to me in the last few months, even as have a lot of other people. So you never know what the next day is going to bring. You never know when a friend might move away. You never know, you never know what might happen. If you're not keeping those relationships strong now, and then something does change, how are you going to then maneuver that new way of that new relationship, or that turn that relationship has taken? And so this is a great thing on your, when you're planning out your week on Sunday and you're looking ahead, if you have that list of people in front of you, and if those people don't come to mind, like Mehreen said, take a few minutes, jot the names down, like who is just like that core that is really important to you, that you support, that they support you, that you want to make sure you're giving those relationships the nurture and the love that they deserve. Have a list and say, okay, hubby, what's going on for him or her this week? Kids, what's going on for them this week? BFF, what's going on for them that week? Neighbor, like all those people. So, you can kind of do a mental run through. When can I schedule in that time? Because, hey, it doesn't sound sexy, it doesn't sound exciting, but if we don't schedule things in, we're at a different level than most people, right? We are all, everyone who's listening to this, everyone in this group, we are all up to big things. We have big aspirations, we have big dreams, and we are moving at a rapid speed. So, but that doesn't mean our family is any less important to us. So we do have to schedule in that time, right? If it's a friend's birthday, you don't want to forget about it. They are starting a new job, you want to make sure you check in. Set those reminders. And if you're doing that Sunday night or Sunday afternoon check-in with yourself and planning for the week, you're able to catch those things and be able to plan. Okay, relationships, huge. Your core relationship should be on your calendar every single week. Number 2 are our own health and self-care. Okay, This is huge, huge. You want to do all these things. You want to have all of these successes. And if you're not taking care of your physical and mental health, you're either not going to get there, B, not going to get there as quickly as you want to, and C, you may not even be able to enjoy it once you have, because you've killed yourself to get there. So making your health a priority every single week. This is scheduling in your workouts. This is scheduling in your meal prep. This is scheduling in those self-care or those renewal activities that help you to refresh, renew, and be able to take on the challenges that are ahead of you.
Health is wealth.
100%.
And Alexis, I'm going to be honest, this is something that I've struggled with, right? I've got all this success, but one of the things that really suffered is my health. And so that is something that I really, over the past year, had to really take on for myself, and being very intentional and hold integrity to my calendar in showing up and doing it, right? And whatever that structure that you need in place to make that happen, make it happen. So if it's a yoga class and you can't count on yourself to do it, then have a partner, a buddy that you do it with, or hire a yoga instructor. Everybody's available now online. You could even do it from your home. If you need to have a personal trainer for something, or even for meditation, whatever it is, if you can't count on yourself to, be integrous to your calendar, then schedule it in as an appointment that you have to do, like a doctor's appointment.
Yeah. And take a little bit, if you're not sure really what those renewal activities are for you, you owe it to yourself to figure that out. Not all of us are going to be recharged by, having an evening to ourselves, or a bubble bath, or getting, your nails done, or there's so many things people talk about in that self-care that it may not actually be the thing that helps refresh you or renew you. So figure out what that is for you. And it doesn't matter how silly it might seem. If it does what it's supposed to do for you, then you need to schedule it in. One thing that I've realized, that because we're not going as many places as we used to, one thing that I love driving, I've always had a commute for work. I've always had to, I've always had that like decompression time from work home, or that kind of thing, or thinking about things. And I don't have that anymore. I'm now working from home. Everything is remote. And even, we get deliveries for everything. So I'm really not having to go out. And when I do, I've got my kids in the car. Usually I'm taking them somewhere. And I've really realized how much I miss just that like half an hour in my car with my playlist blasting and singing along and giving a concert for everyone who's in the lanes beside me. And you know what? The other day I just had to go pick up dog food, and I went by myself with no children, no husband, and I blasted my music. And that half hour was renewing it was refreshing for me. It was renewing for me. I came home, I was in a great mood. I was like, I thought you were just getting dog food. Where'd you go?
Mehreen calls you. How are you? I need to talk to you. I'm out over here.
Yeah, but it's really figuring out what that is for you, okay? Because if you don't figure those things out and you don't have them easily accessible, you're not able to say, when you feel yourself kind of starting on that spiral of feeling overwhelmed, feeling burnt out, feeling stressed, that anxiety is going up, you need to have something quickly that you can go to help level yourself back down, ground and center yourself to be able to move forward. So your health, your self-care has got to be a priority every single week. So again, if we're looking at your calendar, can we see those times that you've blocked off for yourself? Okay. Number 3. The third thing that you need to have in your calendar or plan into your week every week is one needle moving activity for whatever dream it is that you are trying to progress on. So we talk all the time about having like those 3 big goals, and that may be something you're looking at the next 90 days or even the next year. Those big dreams that you really have, these aren't tasks that you want to complete or little things that you want to, that you want to do. These are like those big goals you're working to that are going to take some time. What is one needle moving activity that you can do that moves or advances that project forward? Okay. So again, it's not tiny little tasks. It's not just, just make that quick phone call. It's like, maybe you have to actually learn a skill this week. You have to make some time and, take an online course. Maybe, you want to, let's say, you want to start a podcast. Let's say, there's a lot of different parts of creating and hosting and continuing and having a successful podcast that you need to learn. So maybe one needle moving activities is to watch a couple YouTube videos and figure out what are the platforms I need? What are the supplies that I need, right? This isn't just about, let's just record something, because there's a lot more to it. So what's one needle moving activity that you can plan in for the week that's going to advance a big dream that you're working on?
This is so important, Alexis, because as driven leaders, we're always wanting to better ourselves. We're always wanting to do, and what'll happen is that scarcity mindset starts to set in, and every time something comes at us, we grab it. But when we start to intentionally put it into our calendar, we already know what we're focused on. We already have it planned out. So we're not feeling that we're missing out, right? Because it's already intentionally put in place. You see how that works? That when you don't have something put in place, you're like, okay, I have like 10 minutes right now. I can go listen to this. No, you won't feel like that you have to pack your time for all these things when you already have it intentionally in place. It frees your mind to do the other things because it already knows that the thing that you're working on is already in place. Does that make sense? So making sure when you start to do these planning things, if you're reaching that 7-figure leadership that you want to get to, then you need to be very intentional with your time. Mm-hmm. I think I posted this already once before, but we cannot, there's no such thing as time management. There is activity management. Mm-hmm. So stop telling you that you need more time. Stop saying that, you know, I need better time management skills. That's not what you need. You have the same amount of time as Alexis does, as I do, as anybody else out there, the president, everybody, right? So it's just the activity that you're doing within that time and managing that.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
So important. And I mean, like I said, we have these dreams, these big things that we want to do, and maybe they're not your day job, right? They're things that you're working towards because maybe you want to move to your side hustle to your full-time thing, and you want to get out of your corporate job, or maybe a big dream is that you move to another country or you buy another home somewhere. It could be absolutely anything, but we sometimes have this dream. We might even create a vision board, but then we don't do anything to actually move ourselves forward because it's a dream, right? I've got work to do. I've got kids. I've got groceries. I've got, virtual online school. There's so many things going on. And that doesn't seem like a priority, but it should be, right? I'm not saying spend all your days, daydreaming about, living in Costa Rica. But if that's a goal, what's just one thing you can block out 30 minutes for every single week to advance, to make some progress, to build some momentum on that goal? Because before you know it, a year will pass and we've done nothing to advance that area. And that's the same as everything. I mean, your health too. Like it's really easy that before you know it, you're like, these pants are fitting tighter, or I'm, you go to run somewhere and you get winded really quickly and you're like, that never used to happen, right? But we've kind of gone away and remembering if you're working from home, you're probably sitting a lot more than you were when you were working outside the home. So you need to compensate and you need to build in that movement, that that body movement more than maybe you did before, right? When I was teaching, the campus at the college that I teach at is huge. So for me to get from one lecture hall to the next, it could be like a kilometer that I walk. It takes me like 20 minutes to get across campus. And I was doing that constantly throughout the day. Now I sit right here in front of the screen and I don't have to move anywhere. So you have to build those things in. Okay. So just to recap, the 3 things that you need to build into your schedule for success every single week: your relationships. You should see that somewhere on your calendar. How are you going to nurture those really important relationships to you? Your health and your self-care. Again, schedule it in like an appointment and honor it, okay? Because if you're not there, then you're not going to be able to take care of the people that depend on you. You're not going to be able to enjoy the wins in your business. You're not going to be able to, be swinging in the hammock in Costa Rica if you're stuck in a hospital bed, okay? I know it sounds dramatic, but I cannot tell you the number of people that I know personally that have been hospitalized for exhaustion in the last 3 or 4 years. And they're not old people. I mean, I'm only in my late 30s. So I know, right? It's not, people that are in retirement age that have failing heart. It's not. It's healthy 30 and 40-year-olds that are hitting that wall because they've got so many things. So your health needs to be a priority. And then number 3, at least one needle moving activity that's going to advance a big dream that you're working towards. Okay. Those are the 3 things you want to add to your Sunday evening planning for the week.
So good. I'm excited to see what people will create. So comment below after you've watched this, comment below, what are those 3 things that you're going to incorporate into your week? We want to know.
Yeah, let us know so we can cheer you on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's it for Corner Office Chats. Thank you so much for joining us. And it was so good to see you again, Alexis, here. It's been a couple of weeks. And we will catch you here next week. Same time, same place. Bye.
Take care, guys.